and that is that we have several ways that people can share content on the website, including submitting links for a thing that we have called Link Library, and we have a place where you can upload music, video, photographs, screenshots, all that stuff. But we've added something recently called Submit a Post, where pretty much anybody can submit posts and content articles. And if they're approved, we'll put them in a special blog that we've created called Member Voice. And we may very soon have a contest, like either a weekly or monthly or quarterly contest where we throw out a theme. And it might be like a poem of the month or short story of the month, or it might be like a content contest where we throw out a theme like a particular idea, and you give us content that follows that theme. And if it happens to be a photograph or an image or something you drew or a piece of music you created and it still has that theme, we'll pick a winner, and that person might get like a game key or something. There, it's still up in the air. But the point is, there's a way to register to the website, there's a way to log into the website, and there's a way to use that as your way to submit articles and content. If it takes off, we might actually add more stuff that members only would be able to do on the website. But that's for the future. The system is there. Let's put it that way. Okay. Any questions or thoughts on that at all before we move on?
Just putting notes for the text-only people. That's really cool.
Yeah, this is in no way. This was just like, we have regular blogs for regular folks, but I wanted to give people the opportunity to. Say you have like a really good poem or a really good article, or you've written a really cool essay, but you don't want like the responsibility of an ongoing blog and deadlines and all that kind of stuff. This is a way that you could just get into like a member blog, and it's hit or miss. It's like somebody has something, then cool, share it. Or we'll use it if we do a contest, everybody can submit their stuff that way. Alrighty, I'm going to move on to the docket, which we have something on discussing the current and future status of roles implementation. Has that been handled pretty much?
Amroth is here. Amroth, did you have any other concerns other than what you addressed with your PSA?
Just also a general reminder. Please take a look if you have any questions about roles, or if you want to have want a hand figuring out how to just do even just the basic roles commands. Please ask or look at Fishstick info. It's a text channel near the top by rules. It has a lot of the info and information that Sky used to build Fishsticks, and also give you some other tips and other things that'll help you use it better. There also is a link to the command list for every single command that Fishsticks can do. So yeah, please be aware. We'd like to try and see about trying to push people to also join roles, so that maybe we can get a better idea who plays what. So we have also a better idea of, say, there's like 13 people playing a game that we're not really doing much about. Maybe that might get some more traffic going. Plus, it also gets you to join specific text and voice channels. For those of you that play Minecraft or Among Us, or what's the other one? Minecraft, Among Us. Gotta scroll down. Destiny 2, Elite Dangerous, Ark. Those are all different channels that we have that you can only access once you've joined the roles. And if you want to join all of them, you can join the Game Watcher. It does give you access to everything, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you don't have to join individual roles, but you don't show up in those roles. You just get to see everything. You don't join anything.
Yeah, just to add to what Amroth was saying, what he said a second ago, please, if you're new, don't hesitate to ask about this stuff. We'd love to fill you in. And always start at Fishsticks Info because it has everything you need. And what you can't figure out on your own reading that, just ask. And we have people who are fantastic with fish sticks. Anybody else have any questions or anything on fish sticks or rolls or anything like that before we move on to the next thing?
That includes questions about updates.
Are we allowed to talk about the Bible during playing games?
That's not only an allowed thing, it's kind of always been part of our community.
The only thing that I might say as a caveat is if people are deep into, say, a game of Among Us or something, and you start talking at the Bible and trying to ask questions of all the people that play in the game, they may ask you to leave because they're trying to focus on a very deduction and thinking based game, and they really won't have time to give you a proper response. So while yes, we do want you to make conversation and be willing to talk about the Bible, just maybe don't do it in a channel where people are trying to play a game together and they're in the middle of a game.
Yeah, I would go so far as to say in the old days, CC used to play particular games. We hosted our own servers, and part of our thing back then was to witness to other people who were playing on our servers, but not necessarily save themselves. And they would, get interested in our conversations, and they would come to our forums and talk to us and get on our TeamSpeak and so on. So yeah, that's kind of what I meant when I said that. If people are playing a game and they're putting a lot of thought and a lot of energy into it, don't be surprised if they don't have time to talk about other subjects, regardless of what those subjects might be. Having said that, anytime, if you're ever on the server, let's say a whole slew of bad people were to join the server and somehow got past their security, or anything happened that you just needed somebody that is a leader here to help, you can ask for a leader at almost any time, and they'll do their best to help you, whether they're playing a game or not. But again, don't abuse that privilege if you don't mind.
Hello, brothers and sisters.
Welcome.
Hello.
Hey, Corpse.
Hey, Tyler. Is this are you having a meeting?
Yes, we are. And it's go ahead.
Could I say something?
Sure.
I'd be really thankful if you guys could check out our server with me and Tyler, just to look at it. I guess maybe you guys could be partners. Our server is a Christian server as well. We do Bible studies, and we watch some Christian videos and other stuff, and we sometimes game like you guys.
Are we talking about a Discord server?
Yes.
Yeah. See, we frown on promotion or advertising of anything, particularly other servers on our server. That's been a rule of ours for years and years.
Oh no, I was just wondering if you get partnered.
That's a conversation for with the council later, not during the meeting.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm new to the server.
No worries.
No worries at all. This meeting is exactly for any questions you might have, any thoughts, any ideas. So it's not that we have a problem with it per se, but that's the kind of thing we can talk to you about and kind of hash out operationally,
Are you the owner?
No, our community is run by a council of people. There's no strictly speaking one person that does it all.
Oh, okay.
If you take a look at the roles, anybody that's a council member on the right hand side of your Discord, those are the people that are kind of overlooking everything and guide the community and stuff like that. And then there's staff below them that help with moderating arguments and mediating and that kind of thing. But no, we don't have an owner that runs everything, one person. Not how we operate. Anybody else have any interesting questions or thoughts on anything having to do with talking about the Bible? That question that we had a few minutes ago. Alrighty, and was there anything else on the docket? Cass, if you wouldn't mind pulling it up for me real quick. I know that we had talked about one thing that we didn't really. We're not going to talk about moderator moving, but Cass, do you want to mention your Mandalorian thing?
Yeah, so we got through all 8 episodes, and if somebody missed an episode and really wants to watch one, just contact me. I love to do reruns, but season 2 is airing on October 30th, so the Mandalorian watch parties will resume at that time. Until then, I'm taking a break on Fridays.
Yay.
Did you say yeah because she's taking a break?
Well, I mean, there's this big in the house, so not really, but I'm taking a break from that.
I have a quick question. For one of the council members, since I play Warzone, could I have a role for Warzone?
There is one.
How do you
just gotta join it.
How do you obtain roles on the server?
You run a command from fish sticks. I'm about to send it to you. Oh, well, or she could do it. That's fine. Check the meeting hall chat. And all you got to do is copy and paste that.
Thank you.
The same format holds for any of the other game roles that you would like to join. So you can, I'm going to sum of the roles list real quick. Let's see roles. So we have a lot of game roles. It's a little overwhelming, but I recommend you take a screenshot. You can look it over carefully.
All right.
And the format is the same for any of the games, and if you have trouble, just ask. We really like to help people join those. Yeah, if anybody's having trouble with those, I have trouble with those. Don't feel embarrassed to ask for help. I do it all the time. And I've been using them for 2 years now. I think. Have they been around that long?
Oh, is the reason why you guys don't advertise is because of trolls?
It's just a mutual courtesy thing. We don't go to other people's servers and advertise CC, and so we ask also that when other people join here, they not advertise their servers here. Generally, when people ask for a partnership, what they really want is to draw people from this server to theirs, which if they want to do that via DMs, that's their business. But in the public channels, we ask that people just generally not advertise things. For one thing, we don't know what they're advertising. We aren't on those servers. We can't guarantee that those are safe and that it's okay for our members to go there. I mean, everybody's an adult here. We don't tell them where they can and can't go, but we won't endorse other servers or forums if we don't know what's going on there.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me?
I can.
Yeah.
We can hear you, yeah.
Yep.
Alrighty. I was going to kind of refer back to Core's earlier question just a second ago because Kessie added something to it. Not only is the council and the staff don't own the server, but all of our things that we do, such as the website and so on, are actually paid for by donations. So if you become a member of CC, you really do take a hand in steering what the community is going to get and what they're going to have. In the past, when we had game servers, it was the members who made final decisions on things like the kind of rules that we would follow on our servers. One of the reasons that our community has always been against things like, swearing in the servers and that kind of thing is because that was decided on by the membership. So, what I'm getting at is we do exist on donations, and we listen to people when they tell us what they want in the community.
Could I ask, where does the money go?
Most of our donations go towards bills like server bills for. We used to run 16 or so game servers. Unfortunately, games nowadays don't always operate on that kind of server model anymore. Like Warzone, for example, you're running on Call of Duty's servers instead of your own. But back in the day, we had our own servers. We still have, like servers running on other people's boxes, like Minecraft, things like that. Most of the money right now, though, is going towards things like server bills for the website, things like that.
Oh, okay.
If we had any really cool games that required us to have a good server box in the future, we have some money in reserve that might go towards that kind of thing. So.
All right.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome.
Alrighty, I think we've covered everything in the actual docket itself. That's a good point, because we just moved our web server to a new host, and it's way faster than it used to be, and we spend literally half as much as we used to. So,
remind me, who was the new host again?
It's called VULTR, Vulture.
Huh? Never heard of them.
It is just like double and sometimes as high as quadruple the resources we had in our old servers. We're in total control. We're in total control of everything on this server. I mean, literally, we can plug in or out any kind of Linux Ubuntu resources we want. We're in control of the PHP, all of that stuff that sometimes web hosts are a little iffy about you playing with. And so far, we have, like I said, double to quadruple the resources, and we're paying half as much as we used to.
That's awesome.
Last month was our first full month from beginning to end of paying for it, and it was exactly $5.
That's actually super solid.
Oh yeah, I'm not out to stress test our web host, but I have been doing a lot of behind the scenes stuff on the website lately. Whereas I used to on our old host get all kinds of server errors constantly, like we were running out of RAM and stuff on the virtual host. This never happens. The reason is because Vulture is like the cloud on Amazon or Google. Mm-hmm. Basically, it scales itself. So if you start to push past your limits, it simply gives you more limits. If you push past it all the time, it costs money. But so far, we haven't gone over $5 in a month. So
it's a variable resource sort of thing.
Right, and we just
pay what you use.
Exactly, yes.
That's efficient.
And what we use has turned out to be like super duper inexpensive so far. So, and again,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say, and again, what resources we need cost pennies on the dollar compared to what we used to spend.
Mm-hmm.
What was your question?
I was going to ask, what platform is the website itself built on? Was it just custom coded, or did we use like WordPress or something like that? Or
WordPress is the foundation, but it's been heavily modified.
Okay, I got you. That was my only question. I was just curious.
Yeah, we were using a heavily modified and a custom website a couple of years ago, and when we first did sort of a facelift on the website, it was literally all visual, but it was still on that horrible, slow web host we were using, and things just weren't very good. Now we have trimmed a lot of the excess that we didn't need. We have jettisoned all the stuff that we weren't using, and we're on this lightning fast host. So yeah. Alrighty. Any other questions about the website or servers or donations or anything like operationally about how the community works. That's what these meetings are for, by the way. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to let us know. Alrighty, so at this time, now that we're through with the actual docket that we had on our agenda, which for those of you that don't know, that's also a Fishsticks command, exclamation point docket tells you what's in the docket, and you can add or subtract items. It's pretty easy. Also found on Fishsticks info in the channel. At this time, I'm going to throw out, does anybody have any open meeting business of their own? It could be a concern about the community that you've run into. It could be a bug report. It could be a question. Anyone at all, just speak up and we'll give you the floor. Anyone but the doctor.
I actually have something that I was curious. I don't know if it'd be better for staff. It's probably more of a staff-only thing, but I do have something at some point I'd kind of like to bring up as just more of an idea.
We'll ask it now, and they'll let you know.
So it's in relation to like streaming and those kind of things, because I think I've brought this up before. As far as new joins go, we do get a lot of joins that are people that are looking for either good quality or clean content creators or streamers and those kind of things. And I was wondering if maybe a voice role or maybe some Fishsticks commands we might be able to use, like kind of expanding on the nod, as in maybe having a text chat that would notify anybody that followed the text chat, maybe with like a Twitch or viewer role that would notify people when any of the people with like the nod or content creators that we've kind of verified posted or went live.
Like a stream announcements channel that you can mute if you don't want to see it?
Basically, so that if somebody came in and like, hey, I'm looking for, good quality content streamers or, YouTube channels or something like that, then we could just be like, hey, join this role. You'll get notified when somebody goes live or when somebody posts at YouTube.
I honestly think that's a good idea because we have a regular podcast that Neckbreaker has been promoting lately with Reverlance, and they can be added to that as well.
Exactly. So I'm thinking like, and I've started streaming, and so there's that too. That kind of made me start thinking about some of this stuff. I feel like it would be an easier way for people that have the nod, or like people like the podcast and those kind of things, to be a little bit more noticed, and kind of just cater to that side of the community as well. And like that'd be something I'd be happy to help with administratively if somebody needed to kind of head that up.
Give me 1 second. I'm just kind of
You're good.
porting over what Kessa is noting in the channel. For those that aren't aware, we have meeting minutes after every meeting that we have posted on the website, and so we're taking notes, and that's why it's taking me a second. Sorry.
I'm kind of taking notes in the text chat as we go.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm actually copying and pasting with your stuff.
Oh, okay. I thought you were taking your own notes. It's like, you don't have to.
Let me rephrase. I am inefficiently copying and pasting your stuff.
But you are doing it.
It's all good. Inefficient is how we run around here.
Anybody else have any thoughts on that? I think that's actually a pretty good idea, and would be something that we could, add to Skyranger's already over. What's the word I'm looking for? overflowing plate of version 18 stuff.
I don't even think the plate is visible at this point.
The structure is
about to speak.
Already in place. Oh, he already made the channel. He already added it to the projects. Okay. He didn't actually make the channel yet. For a minute, I thought that was what it was, Sky.
I was about to say, if so, that's like highly interactive. You ask and you shall receive.
It's the precognitive division of fish sticks.
Yeah, I would like to see us do something very similar to what you're saying, Everett, as far as I honestly believe we have quite a few people in our community that probably have skills and content creation ideas and things like that they just never use because, I don't know, maybe they don't spend enough time on the things that they like to do. Like, for example, I'm kind of into this one particular hobby, but I only do that hobby from time to time because I'm so busy playing a game or whatever. And if we told people, hey, we have a really robust content creation area inside our community, maybe they would get on board with it.
Yeah. I mean, I think it would be a good thing to help promote. Like, I think promoting quality content's a good idea, especially because media in general is just flooded with a bunch of crap right now. And really that goes for a lot of things. And promoting good quality content would benefit, I think, the community and just our impact as a whole. And it would make people feel a little bit better about, hey, I have this idea, but I don't know if anybody's going to watch it. And they know, like, oh, well, there's some people that might be interested in watching that, so let me go ahead and try it,
Yep. Well, back in the day, CC had a subgroup that was called Artistic and Creative Endeavors, which is basically now the name of my own little thing that I do.
Mm-hmm.
I call it my fly-by-night non-business because I don't really make any money off of it. But at the time, it was not just like backup for people making graphics for the website, stuff like that, but it was also people critiquing each other and helping each other. Let's say you made a really great video, but you're not a musician and you wanted a musician's help. We had musicians who would help, and so on and so forth. So everybody got involved, and everybody helped each other, and it was really cool. And I wouldn't mind seeing CC have something like that again.
Yeah.
My opinion of content creation for CC is, if we create one meme or one song or one highlight video from a game that draws one person to our community, and that one person who's drawn to our community comes to one Bible study, and that one Bible study helps them meet the one, Jesus himself, then the entire 15 plus years that CC has been around were completely worth it.
Yeah. That's kind of what I'm thinking too. Like, it would we're not advertising the server, but it would show, there might be somebody that finds a stream or finds a video or finds a music, something, and sees it, and it's like, hey, this is cool. I didn't know a community like this existed. Because I had no idea that a community like this existed until I came here. And it's been
Everett. That's
actually a fun story. So if everybody's okay with a quick story time. Long time ago, I wanted to actually start a YouTube channel and do like Christian gaming videos. I was probably like 15 at the time. And I was looking online for other Christian gamers or Christian channels, and I found CC while they were on, while y'all were on TeamSpeak. But I didn't have TeamSpeak. My internet was terrible, so I never joined. And then a couple years later, I got Discord, and I randomly was just like, I wonder if that community still exists. And I looked it up, and I was like, oh, they do, and they're on Discord now. And I joined, and the rest is history. So,
wait,
yeah.
I'm sorry, I missed the part about what content did you see exactly that pointed you to us?
I wanted to create, like, gaming videos, but like from a Christian perspective, and or just like quality, clean gaming videos as a Christian. So that's kind of like, honestly, the way and the reason I found the server was looking for a server or a group that promoted that kind of content and promoted that kind of style of gameplay.
So that's how you found us. Very
Yeah, honestly, that's the whole point, is kind of behind of how I found us. Yeah. Because I didn't know, I was like, would there even be a community for this? Would there even be a audience for any of this? And then when I found this place, it's like, oh yeah, actually there definitely would be. But yeah, story time over.
Neo.
On the subject of, sorry, go ahead.
I have a really quick question about it's not really like advertising for CC. Well, it kind of is, but I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Sorry.
Finish your thought.
You're good.
Go ahead.
So yesterday and many other days, I have a Bible study group like from a local church, and I just wanted to know if it was okay to advertise this server for if they wanted to join.
Of course.
Of course, the more Christians, the better.
I mean, that's perfectly okay with us. This just make sure that you are not violating their rules on advertising, if any.
Oh, it's not another server. It's in-person Bible study group with a bunch of other kids that are over the age of 13.
Oh,
maybe
in
you
that
should
case,
talk to the leader of that group just to be sure they're okay with you spreading the word, but maybe they would be more comfortable hearing about it first.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a really good idea.
Okay.
That's a good question, though.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I've actually shared the server with people from my work. Y'all know. And
yes, all of them in one day. I remember.
yeah, I invited 4 people here. I think a total of 4 employees. Yeah, actually, no, 3. 3 of my coworkers are on here. Just from invites. Yeah.
All right. So, in the interest of moving on, I'm going to hand the floor to a new question here. But before I do, I want to know how your name is pronounced. Is it Cosigny? Is it Cosine? How do you pronounce it?
Cosine.
Okay.
Just drop PE. So, I actually got the name from my brother, and I used to use it on the same Steam account. But
it has nothing to do with mathematics at all?
No.
Okay.
No, not at all. I know exactly where you're going, though, with that. But my question was, in the same vein as developing video media, that would draw people towards the channel, not advertising, but would draw them towards the channel, which would draw them towards Christ. Have we ever discussed the idea of a non-video media in terms of like art or other forms of art forms, medias? Because one thing I like to do is I like to make maps, mostly for when I'm playing D&D, but I also just like to draw maps just in general. And they can be realistic or they can be fictional, but I wasn't sure if, not necessarily maps, but other forms of art could be used to draw people towards the channel.
Absolutely. This kind of goes back to what I was saying before. We used to have a subgroup called Artistic and Creative Endeavors, and it was made up of writers, musicians, painters, people that did pottery. Kessa would get in now just for the sewing stuff that she does. We promote all sorts of different stuff. First thing I would do is tell you that there are at least 3 ways to put content in at our website that you may not be aware of. One is we have a thing called the link library. So if you have links to really cool websites or resources that give out free stuff like graphics or whatever, that's something that you can take part in, and your link could be shared on our link library. It also has a lot of Christian links, I might add. Also, we have a creativity thing. I'd have to show you how it works, but basically it's like you can upload your own files, and they can be videos or music or all kinds of other stuff. And then lastly, we've just added a way where people can do one-off blog articles. You don't have to be a regular blogger with us to submit articles or essays, or in your case, maps. The old subgroup that we used to have worked together so well. It would be a situation like somebody knows what you're good at, and you know what somebody's good at. So let's say you wanted to visually record yourself creating a map from a blank start to a finished product. Maybe one of our video editors or somebody could get together, and one of our musicians could get together and put music to it, and we could make a really cool like YouTube video out of it. Just to give you an idea of the kind of stuff we used to do, collaborations we used to have.
Gotcha.
If people think it would be good to bring that kind of subgroup back to CC, we could do that. I would love to see all the people that we have that do various things use those things for the betterment of the community, and not only that, but flex their artistic muscles. And as Kessa mentioned, we used to have a whole group of people that would get together and just play an Android game together called Draw Something. And we have an entire like huge gallery on the website of art that's put together by those folks. So yeah, anything that's artistic at all, it doesn't matter what kind of art it is. We would love to promote it. So if everybody wants to talk about this more, I could suggest that we talk about possibly bringing a little content creation group back to CC. People in favor of that idea?
I'm definitely in favor of that. Something like what you're saying, Neo, that I've been thinking about is, and it's kind of honestly brought on by you helping me with the different graphics and stuff you've been helping me with, was, hey, well, if we could have a group that somebody's like, hey, I want to do this. I want to start, streaming, but I don't have any of this or logos or graphics or anything like that. Then you could have somebody in the groups like, hey, I know how to do this. I can help you out with that. Or somebody else that wants to help out with a different thing. Like it could even be website design if somebody, because like I like web design. I just don't get to do a lot of web design stuff. So if somebody was like, hey, I want to start a little WordPress site, then somebody else might be available to show them how to do it or help out with that kind of thing. So just
absolutely. And what you're saying kind of plays into another thing too. Mm-hmm. There may be people in here right this minute who are not, I repeat, not artistic. They don't know how to do music. They're not the least bit interested in any of that stuff, but they have ideas. Just because you might not be a graphic designer doesn't mean you don't have a really cool idea for a logo. Just because you're not a musician doesn't mean you don't have a really good idea for a song. If there's anybody, even just having ideas but not skills, that wants to be involved in this content creation thing, that'd be great. We'd more people, the more people, the merry, the merrier, whatever.
I think that goes into just utilizing the different talents that we have for God and for not even always outreach, just for expression and using the talents that God gave us. I think having a community where we're able to make it safe for somebody to reach out and be like, I want to do this cool logo, but I have no idea how to do it, and then having other people come alongside them and help them out with that kind of thing would be a really cool thing.
Definitely. We'll have to talk about this a little bit more. Maybe come up with some more specifics on this.
Because I was also thinking about, as far as producing media and producing content, if we wanted to lean more into doing that, about maybe developing not necessarily a rule set, but more so like a guidelines document, manifesto or whatever you want to call it, to cover like what kind of content would we support and what kind of content would we kind of advocate for, so that everybody could be clear of, you know, okay, this is the kind of content so and so wants to create, and this is the kind of content so, you know, another guy wants to create, and then we kind of know where think people would know where they would fall in lines with the content that we support.
Definitely. Does anybody else have any other open meeting business they'd like to toss out before we consider the evening at an end? The reason I do this is because we can talk about this kind of stuff outside the meeting, and I don't know, do we have a game night tonight? As soon as the meeting's over?
Oh, if people are interested in a Jackbox game or in more probably in an Among Us game, there are probably people willing to host. Among Us has been crazy popular lately.
Okay, so one more call, last call. Anybody have any more questions or thoughts or concerns or anything else? The next time we would meet would be 2 weeks from today, which means that we won't have another meeting till. So anytime you have any thoughts, you know, obviously don't have to have thoughts just at meetings. You can ask staff or council members anytime you put this meeting together so people can, you know, toss out what they have. If you ever feel like maybe you want to be anonymous about bringing something to the community, you could just message one of us and ask us to bring it up for you. By the way, Dino, our council members have been talking recently about how we might create like a separate application for folks that are a little younger, so that rather than filling out an application, you can like have a little interview with us in Discord. We haven't finalized it yet, but we're working on it.
That sounds really good. Yeah. So I'll wait on this then.
Yeah, I'm going to leave it to our leaders to talk about that a little bit more, because
yeah,
a lot of people around your age don't like going to the parents and saying, "Hey, you know, can I give out this, that, and the other?"
Yeah. It's really just the real personal, like first and last name stuff that my parents aren't really fond of. Don't want me to do.
Well, I tell you what, for now, if you did want to fill out the application for now, just put like an initial for the first name and an initial for the last name, something like that.
Yeah.
Because it's really the other questions that we would like to hear from you the most, like if you have a testimony, or if you you know, if you belong to a particular denomination, Christianity, that kind of stuff. That way we can go ahead and expedite you and get your membership regardless. So if we see your app and we don't see a first name or last name, we'll understand, is what I'm saying.
Okay. Thank you.
Alrighty, anybody else? Yes, we do appreciate everybody's questions and concerns and thoughts this evening. This is actually one of our more well-attended meetings here recently, so appreciate it, everybody. And at this point, I will go ahead and ask our leaders, do we need to get together for a closed session this evening, or